Overall, in our final production, we had two characters, the male and the female, who were both represented in very, very different ways. The female character was obviously vulnerable to the audience, and they saw her more a positive light. Although they didn't see her on screen, she never has much screen time. As the male character, the audience could relate to her more. She was more positive, as she was the vulnerable, weak character in the sequence, as opposed to the male character, who it was obvious to the audience that he was the nasty, negative character who they saw in a not so positive, negative light. Because obviously he was like chopping up the meat, his codes of dress, his performance in the piece, all kind of gave the audience a negative view on him as opposed to a positive one. Although he did have more screen time. We never saw the man's face, we never saw any kind of features of him that could identify him as an individual. All we ever saw was his coat and his hands pulling up the rusty hook and walking around chopping up what appeared to be a dead body. So overall his reputation was completely negative. There was nothing good about him at all. It was insinuated that he'd killed the girl, we're not too sure. It's obviously very dodgy. Whereas the girl, like I said, though it's not completely positive because we're not 100% sure who she is. I don't think we see enough of her to kind of fully gain a perspective on her, but we see her as vulnerable, we feel sorry for her, and obviously when we see her death we know that maybe she's not a horrible person initially, but we understand that she's not a negative view. That's how the audience responds to her, and that's that.